many things affect your life as much as slow traffic and bad weather? Listen tomorrow morning for Traffic and Weather Together every 10 minutes on the 9s on KSL News Radio.
We're taking your phone calls here on Cougar Nation, 801-575-8255. What was your reaction to A.J. DeBansa signing with BYU, and what does it mean for the program? 801-575-8255. Mitch Harper, Matt Baiamonte with you here on the legacy home of the Cougars. This year's BYU team, 8-2 overall after defeating Wyoming on Saturday at the Delta Center. Solid crowd at the Delta Center. That game was originally going to be in Laramie. BYU switched it to Salt Lake. Next year, the Cougs will go to the Arena Auditorium in Laramie. Hopefully Kevin Young and crew next year buy out of that game. I struggle to picture the number one recruit in the country going to Laramie, Matt, but I've seen crazier things.
Yeah, that needs to be bought out. Look, this non-conference schedule, it's left a lot to be desired. There haven't been a lot of Quad 1 opportunities. And when I say Quad 1, for those of you who may not understand the finer metrics of college basketball, there's this system called the net rankings, and it's looking at strength of schedule, it's looking at opponents, home, away, neutral site. You want to stack up as many Quad 1 and Quad 2 games as you can. Every game that you play is broken down into a Quad 1, Quad 2, Quad 3, Quad 4. Quad 1 wins, great. Quad 2 wins, really good. Quad 3 wins, doesn't really matter. Quad 4 wins, don't even care. And then on the losses, Quad 1 losses are fine. Quad 2's not bad. Quad 3, Quad 4, really bad. BYU's 0 for 2 in Quad 1 games. They lost against Providence and Ole Miss. Yep. And so you got to buy out of that. I guess what I'm trying to say here, Mitch, is buy out of that Wyoming game and get in some MTEs against some big-time opponents. Maybe not to the tune of what Mark Pope's doing at Kentucky, because it's like every week they're playing Louisville, they're going to Seattle, they're playing Ohio State. Like Kentucky's going wild. You probably don't need to do that, but you need to have some games of some juice in the non-conference, and going at Wyoming is not going to be that.
BYU has exciting times ahead with A.J. DeBansa, and this year's going to be fun with this season. But I think what's also exciting about the addition of DeBansa, Matt, is that no matter what happens this year, and we're learning that this year's team, despite I think it's a really talented roster. You think about the injuries and the personnel losses that they've had with some kind of strange situations. Richie missed on Saturday, Richie Saunders, due to a lip laceration, and he later revealed he had a concussion too in that win over Wyoming. Yegor's missing some time. Dallin Hall missed the first 4 games due to a toe. Keba Keita missed a game due to an ankle. They haven't had their full collection of guys at full strength yet. They're 8-2, but it's still a little bit of a feeling out process for this team. But the addition of DeBansa, though, no matter what happens this year, the honeymoon continues for Kevin Young. And look, he's got a 7-year deal. It's not like he's going anywhere. People are going to be, turning on Kevin Young. But I just think that he maintains the momentum of the program with DeBansa. Because, again, if you go, let's say, I don't think they will, but if they did, 9-11 in Big 12 play and didn't do much in the postseason, okay, well, turning the next page and DeBansa just gets you fired up for next year. And I just feel like that's exciting that you're kind of in a spot with the program this year in year 1 under Young where
it's a free pass.
Yeah, you're playing with a little bit of house money. You got some talented guys, and I think they could still be a team that is really good come March. And if this thing starts to click and they start to figure things out with Yegor and Dallin Hall, when those two are fully healthy, that's exciting. So I think the potential of BYU basketball is really high right now, Matt. And I think it's also in a time, too, where, we talk about blue bloods in college basketball, but who are really the coaches there that are these legendary figures that make these programs the blue bloods that they are? They're
Bill
gone
Self,
now.
maybe?
Yeah, Bill Self's still there, but BYU already beat him last year with a Mark Pope team. I mean, BYU, why can't they become a new blood? Why can't they become one of the big things in college basketball going forward? And I know that's hard to picture, but it's like in this era of NIL and the commitment that BYU's administration and the boosters are showing, and with a head coach like Kevin Young who can get the best of the best, why can't this program become one of the best programs nationally on an annual basis?
Cougar Nation, what was your reaction when number 1 recruit in the country, A.J. DeBansa, chose BYU? 575-8255. You can text as well. I like this one from 4622. I stood all amazed. AJ DeBonsa committing. Let's go out to the phone line quickly. Linda, what did you make of this BYU basketball program landing the top high school recruit?
Oh, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I was so happy when I heard that.
Does this make you believe that BYU basketball could go deep into the NCAA tournament next season?
Yes, I do. I really do, because I think, and I think with Kevin Young, I think it's going to be so good, so good because he's such a good coach, and I'm really impressed. I've been listening to his coach's shows and everything too, and they're really good. I'm just really impressed.
Thanks for the call, Linda. Appreciate it. I think is everyone impressed? I mean, yeah. How could he not be with the way that he's coaching this team, but the way he's recruiting?
I was talking with a former Jazz assistant coach at the game on Saturday, and he knew Kevin Young from his time in the G League or the D League, and he just said, this guy's impressive. I mean, he knew Will Voigt. He said, this is an NBA team, like the way they're built now, the way they're constructed, and it's just like, this guy will be destined for success. And you knew it when he was with the Iowa Energy, as this guy put it. So Kevin Young's just well-respected, and I think that's an underrated piece that I don't think enough Cougar fans give credit to, is that this guy hasn't rose to the top, Kevin Young, by burning bridges. He's maintained relationships. So now he steps into a BYU program where he's a head coach, and he's got allies and people that say, oh, yes, go play for him. Hey, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, they all say, go play for Kevin Young. And I think that's critical. When you get a seal of approval from guys like that, or top agents in the game into the professional ranks, that helps the cause, and Kevin Young can get that.
Let's take a break. Cougar Nation brought to you by Central Bank. We'll get to some football on the other side, and then, of course, we'll get to your calls and texts.